Okay, I'm here with the kids. We're going to go walk and try and change my trail camera. We're going to check the trail camera that I've got up. Oh, cool.
It's another stag.
And then we are going to change it to the Guard Pro cellular trail camera and see if we can get a bit of signal in the forest here, which would be quite cool. Anthony just saw these. Oh, they're beautiful. Mushrooms.
Oh, David, it's living nature. Can you find some bugs?
You guys can look for bugs and stuff.
Like a spider web hound.
Oh, a spider web. Oh, that's probably a sheet web living in there somewhere. And
look at these cool mushrooms.
oh, there's more mushrooms here.
One.
So the mushrooms are the fruiting bodies of the fungus. These tiny ones here.
No, they're different, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're tiny. They're quite cool.
Look at the web.
There's even a tinier one there. Whoa, look at that.
Without your kids and your mom's and that isn't cannibal.
Oh yeah, I think that's broken off that branch though. They normally grow on the branches.
But it's cool.
Quite cool.
Oh,
It's very
that is
cool.
a sheet web nest. Just for us.
Oh yeah, sheet web. Sheet web. Yeah, look, there's birds everywhere in the tree canopy. Stuff moving, so they're up, and that often happens the case in forests. There's lots of birds in the tree canopies and stuff, but they're hard to see them on the floor. So this is a beautiful, just absolutely stunning piece of forest. You guys enjoying the walk?
Yeah.
Cool. And we're also trying to be quiet to see if we can see some deer. But the tomtit has vanished now. But look at it. It's a male tomtit. Little fantail piwaka waka. So fast. Behind you, David. Piwaka waka, very cute. Good work, David. Climbing. Oh, must be a special kind of berry. Not sure which one. Interesting. Wonder what kind that is. If someone can tell us in the comments what kind of berry that is, that'd be great. Awesome. Good find. David found a gunwood. It's pretty cool, David. Turn it around. Yeah. It's like a cool gun find on the track. Good work. They've both now got pretend gun sticks. Time for a bit of a snack stop. Lots of twee sounds around. Very cool. Yeah, so we have now gone off trail. I find the trail camera that I set up pretty close to the track. Hopefully it's still there. And then we'll have a look. It's making our way through the bush. Okay. Whoa, making our way through the bush. Deer tracks here coming up the deer trail, which I think is the same trail that the camera is on. These aren't too old. Now you guys got to be careful of slipping. We're going to go up over there. No, it's just up here. So trail camera is just up here coming down that hill, or at least that's where it should be, provided it's still there. I see the strap still, so it looks like it must still be here. The strap's still on there. And the camera's here. Okay, excellent. Nice. So there's the trail camera. This is a Temu model I had, and hopefully I can replace it with it. And that's there, you can see where the deer come down. Don't walk up there, Anthony, because I want to put that other trail camera here. Okay. Oh, we got a deer on the trail camera.
It's a big
Sika
one too.
stag, yeah.
A big
That's
one.
really cool. Nice. Okay, cool. I'll chuck all the video on here what we find. So the Temu trail camera was up from the 14th of May, so post-roll, till the 21st of June. And you'll see on the footage that initially there was quite a bit of stags on the footage, and they often followed straight after a hind had passed by. That's a nice 6-pointer that showed up many times on the trail camera, and that was probably the biggest stag, apart from there was an 8, but there was a smallish 8 that turned up a bit later, and they all seem to be going uphill, and then the odd one turned up during the day. There seemed to be a hind and a yearling that passed by very regularly, although this is a spiker. This is the only spiker that turned up on the camera. But there seemed to be regular activity. Most of the activity was at night, sort of between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And the activity that was around in the morning tended to be sort of before 10 a.m. in the morning. Lots of deer came and sniffed at the trail camera. That one ran off, but many just ignored the trail camera, didn't have too much of a reaction. That's another hind that passed by. And there's that 6-point stag again. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. And again, it's sniffing the camera. It's funny, they all came around and sniffed the camera. I'm thinking next time I might put the cameras a bit higher so that they're out of the reach. So we had a lot of possums as well, and the possums were doing the same. They were sniffing the camera and looking at it and pushing it around and stuff. So don't want them to get damaged. I think in the raw you'd have to properly put the camera somewhere else in case a stag knocks it over. Another hind coming past, and often there was a hind with a yearling following not too far behind. It's interesting, I don't know how many deer there were in total, but because some of them I think were just, especially towards the end of June, there was a hind and a yearling, which I think was the same animals that came past. There's the yearling coming past after the hind. A little bit more suspicious, but generally they just ignored the trail camera. And I think this Temu one has LEDs that are more visible. I'm not sure, but the Guard Pro that I put up later, and I'll have the footage later on at the end of the video, I have a few clips, it's got no glow LEDs, so that is not supposed to be visible. There's another hind coming past. Again, I think the yearling might follow after this, I'm not sure, or if that might be the yearling. I think the hind might have passed already. Another, is this maybe the small 8? I can't remember. We'll see when it looks down. But again, another sniffer. There's so many of them that sniff the cameras. It's quite funny. And that one had a bit of a reaction. So, yeah, this is a small 8. You can see just the tips of the antlers are split into 2 points. Another hind. And as you can see, most of the activity is at night. Here comes that small 8 again. It's the only 8 that's picked up on the camera. But towards the end of June, there was a lot less stag activity. Now, I'm not sure, but soon there's going to be a daytime shot of a stag with some weird antlers, and he comes past and he's clearly been shot. He's limping on one leg, and if you slow the footage down, you can actually see where he's been wounded. If you freeze frame it, this one, it's got weird antlers, and it's been shot, but I think it's going to survive because it doesn't look too badly hurt. It's just limping. Another hind. So interesting if any of you recognize that stag that has been shot. Well, it's still alive. There is another. This is the yearling again that's passing by after the hind. Oh, this is funny. Watch this. The possum and the deer got a fright of each other. There's another stag coming through. This is an early morning bit where the hind comes through. I think the yearling might follow soon after this. No, it's the stag following. So this was, you can see it checking the ground, and later I think it sniffs in the air. So this is starting to go into June, I think, if you can see the timing at the bottom. And there must still be a little bit of rutting activity going on. But after this, I think there's only one more stag that turned up on this camera, but then later on the other camera, a stag turned up. So here's the hind and the yearling that keeps turning up on the camera from this point on. They seem to be regular visitors, unless there's a few of them. But it's hard to tell whether it's the same ones, but I'm suspicious that it probably is the same ones coming past regularly. Here they are again. They're often either together or, yeah, there comes the yearling again afterwards. But it was neat to see that there's a fair bit of activity, but it's going to be challenging because most of the activity is at night. So I'll run the Guard Pro, which gives me live footage. It says me live notifications every time something comes past, and I'll try and see if I can over some time pattern it, and hopefully I'll have a chance to go down and set up on a tree and spring for a few days and see if I can get one out of the tree. I've got a tree hunting setup that I am keen on testing out. Oh, there comes another deer. It's in the background there, you can just see the eye. And there comes the yearling. I'd love to be able to close enough see what they're eating on the ground. It must be small, it must be either berries or very young growth of plants. Another hind, and I think the yearling follows behind this, but as you can see it's mostly the hinds now and much fewer stags. There goes the yearling. The hind and the yearling again, and early morning, I think. And there they go again. Interesting footage. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Did you say a giant boobies? Yeah, giant booby circle.
Okay, the Guard Pro cellular trail camera is up. This will give us live images. So that previous trail camera got lots of deer on it. So this should be pretty cool. And yeah, I'll show you where it's pointing. So there is a pretty active deer trail coming down there. That should be basically the view it gets as the deer come down, which has been working, or go up. And I'll show you the other side of this. This is the camera, and then the trail goes that way and down the little valley. And I want to get a sense of the amount of animals coming down here because I'm a bow hunter. And bow hunting is not easy, so if I know when and what direction the animals come, pick one of these lovely trees and do some tree hunting. Some trees in there, that might be quite nice as well. Really good trees that will give me a good view of the animals coming through here, down here. But so far what I've briefly seen is most of the activity was at night, so but there is some coming down through the daytime, so we'll just have to see how we go. So the nice thing about the security for the Guard Pro is I can padlock it closed, but I also have a cable that runs through the top here that secures it. So I just made a cable, and you can run a cable through there. You can also get a lockbox, a metal lockbox that I have. The Guard Pro has got quite a lot of LEDs that are non-visible to animals, and then it's got quite a wide set of sensors. It's got 3 sensors, it can go quite wide, and then it's got the camera there, which is quite high resolution. It's a little bit more than full HD, like almost 2K, and that's quite good enough for what you want. And it does 48 megapixel photos if you don't want to do a video. Yeah, it's quite a nice cellular trail camera. I've been getting the notifications as I've been walking past here as well already, so I know there's deer here, so I'm looking forward to getting some deer shots. I might publish this video before I get any, but we'll see. Really cool. If you want to check out this camera, I've got a full review in it, which I'll link in the description, and I've also got a link in the description for where you can buy it. So yeah, Guard Pro sent it to me, and it's the first time I've actually put it up in the bush. Just finding places in the bush where you actually have signal and deer is not so easy, but we'll try it. Okay, well, we're just on our way back. David's found a cool red mushroom. That's really cool. Well, you're wearing gloves, taking that up. You're going to do it. Not this way, please. Anthony, stay upright. Come past. That way. Just follow that way.
That's why.
Okay. Go, go, go. Pole millipede. This is a big millipede. Like,
Do they bite?
it's cool. I don't think I've seen any in New Zealand before. You can have a look, touch. You can look at it.
What happens?
Just be
if
gentle.
it
It's a pole millipede. It's a big millipede.
Is it gonna open up?
You want to have a look, David?
How is it gonna open
Yeah, well,
up?
they open up. They're a millipede. You don't know the slaters you see in the garden?
Yes.
They're like a big version of that, but this is actually a millipede. So if you put it on there, but it probably won't open up now for any time we've been here, because I think it's be too disturbed. Taking them for a little bush bash. Short little bush bash. Good, your hands are warm.
I can move my fingers a little bit now.
You can move your fingers a little bit. See, as I said, it gets pretty cold in the bush, and
Why is it so hot to walk in the sticky blah blah bushes?
sticky blah blah bushes. Okay.
Yeah, sticky blah blah bushes.
Okay, it's opened up again now, and we should be very near the track. Time for some hot chocolate. We're going to use the BRS 3000T and the 500ml Thai Artisan titanium pot, which makes a nice little cooking system. I've got the gas canister in there, everything, and set that up, and then we'll cook. This little BRS 3000T only weighs 26 grams. Got a 100 gram gas canister there, the pot, everything is like tiny. And it can really go. Like, move the handle so it doesn't get hot. But I'm going to turn it down a bit as well. Things that is important for me when I bring the kids out is safety, and Sierra Madre has sent me this, which is a emergency sleeping bag. It's quite small, and I'm quite keen to try it, and the kids are cold, so I'm going to stick them in it now while I make the hot chocolate and see if they feel warmer. It's a little emergency sleeping bag, so it's just very tiny, and you can keep it in your car or wherever, and just unfurl it, and it's literally just a sleeping bag made out of I think it's like a mylar type thing, which is reflective. It reflects your heat inside and keeps you warm. And that's it. It's very light to carry with. It's the same as the space blanket sort of thing you sleep in, but it's just an actual sleeping bag. And if you're really cold, you can chuck that in your sleeping bag as well. Plus they do an emergency water straw as well, which I haven't used yet, but this is like a pen water straw that you can just suck up the water if it's a bit dirty, and very light to carry with. I'm going to chuck these in my emergency kit anyway, or in the back of my car, and see how it is. You guys want to crawl in there and see if you can get warm? Okay, so Anthony's jumped in it. It can cover him up completely, and he was a bit shaking before, so we'll see if he's warm in a little while I finish the hot chocolate. If you're cold in the bush, a hot cup of something is always good. A cup of tea, cup of coffee.
Like
and
a cup of hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa, yeah. If you're cold, it's always a good solution. So is the sleeping bag working, Anthony? Is it feeling warmer? That's good. Let me see if I will be able to survive a night in the bush with this. Wondering if it's going to be warm. It'll take a while to warm up. It uses your body heat to warm it up, so might be a standard kit I'm carrying in the future. Okay, well, I can feel this getting a little bit warmer, and it's reflecting my body heat back into myself. I'm sure there'll be a bit of condensation issues overnight, but it will probably save your ass if you get stuck in the bush overnight. So a good thing to carry with. I've always carried a space blanket with me, thankfully never needed to use it, but you can also put this over your sleeping bag or something like that if you really have a cold night and it's not cutting it. So a nice bit of kit to carry with, a bit upgraded from the standard space blanket. So yeah, I'll leave a link in the description, and if you're interested to get one of these emergency sleeping bags. The Toto light came as well for my noises. cool. It's a New Zealand robin. Okay, we saw some wild kaka. You can see them flying around in the trees. And they're calling, which is really cool. Yeah, that's so cool. We just heard them and came off the track. And to look at them. See them jumping around there. That's so cool. Oh yeah, there's a whole heap. Look at that on the bunches, everything. Oh, there they are. That's so cool. Wild kaka. Really cool. They're coming closer. So here are a couple of clips from the Guard Pro that I got in the days following while I was editing the video. Lots of possum footage, and then this morning actually hind followed shortly by a stag, which I think is that 6-pointer that is in earlier video clips on the Temu camera. Note the comparison with the quality of the footage, and yeah, check it out. Okay, we're on the move again. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching. Check out all the links in the description, and check out my online store, gowildgear.co.nz, and I'll see you in the next one.